4 gewartet. Torpedo 5 gewartet.
Alright guys, good evening. Welcome to another late night stream. So in the last 2 weeks, I didn't stream over the week because I had a bit too much of work to do. But right now, I can afford to sleep a little bit longer tomorrow morning. Yeah, and so we can do maybe 2 or 3 hours of streaming tonight. So it is again literally gonna be a late night stream, at least for me and the good guys around here from Central Europe. Yeah, around here it just in this second it turned 12 o'clock midnight. Hey Paul, nice to have you in. That's great to have you in. How are you doing? Hope you had a good start of the week. Well, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Sound is alright, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. Oh yeah. Yeah, I kind of love the game. It's just, yeah. It's always this about time. There are well, quite a few games. I mean, if I would list my top 10 games, I would still not have the time to play them all. And Project Drunk Zomboid would be pretty far up on the list. It's just like that. For the last months, I never quite had the time and the patience to dive back into that game. But I love it. So, yeah, what's the status? Let me briefly summarize for anybody who is not so familiar with my stream. This is U-Boat, a submarine simulation, and I play the game. Yeah, you have a wonderful campaign, open world campaign in this game, which covers the whole war. And it's, yeah, I started with this campaign here at the very start of the war in September 35. And you see it's now almost 2.5 years into the war. And so, yeah, things become more challenging. The enemy escorts become better, their equipment becomes better, mine, of course, as well. But I already recognize that it becomes harder and harder to sneak undetectedly into convoys. And yeah, I started with a very small and slow and low range Type 2 submarine, and over the time earned my merits, and by now I am with the Type 7C, quite a decent boat. Some successful runs, I finished the Black Pit, and now I am working on this mission, the Operation Drumbeat, Paukenschlag on German, Operation Paukenschlag, which is something like wreaking havoc along the coast of North America. Northern part of North America, to put it like that. And here we are. We just finished our first patrol that we went over the pond. And yeah, we sank quite a few ships. In total it was 700, you see here, 7,000 tons of merchantmen. That were 2. And I actually sank 1 destroyer, which is not counted here for the sunk tonnage. They never do in this game. For the tonnage, because that's the mission of the submarines, to sink merchant tonnage, so you get some additional reputation for sinking a man of war, and also additional budget in terms of Reichsmark, but that's all. No tonnage being accounted for. Yeah, our fatigue level is up to -5, but yeah, no reason yet to send the crew on a shore leave. Let's check. We already did a little shopping tour at the end of our last stream when we came home. Hey, by the way, Paul, when you say Project Zomboid is not the same after the last build update, so do you mean it in a positive sense or in a negative sense? I would be very curious what the actual or the main changes in this update are. To be honest, I didn't keep track of it. Don't know what it was. Would be very interesting to hear about that. Yes, so we have T1 torpedoes, which is the steam-powered ones. Half of the torpedoes is T1, the other half is T3, which is the modern electric ones, and all of them have relatively new pistols, relatively reliable pistols. Or less stable and buggy. But yeah, did they come with some additional features? Something spectacular what you can do now? Yeah. So that's 4 torpedoes, now the aft torpedoes. I love to have the Soundkönig, the sound-seeking torpedoes in the aft torpedo tubes. When I get chased by a man of war, I can fire and forget and dive. But unluckily in the stores there was only one single sound-seeking Soundkönig. So, well, that's it. Yeah, well, but I thought, wasn't aware, as I said, I haven't been playing that game for too many hours, but I thought that there were animals already. I never went out of the populated areas and the house, well, the villages actually. I never went into the countryside, so I don't know, but I thought that they had implemented animals long time ago. But yeah, looks like I was pretty wrong. Now here we have topped off our complement of medkits and of repair parts. Still, let's see. I think we still have to do another shopping tour. And yeah, one thing that I figured out. Nah, no, don't do that. But what I actually wanted to do was okay. Now I have loads of potassium absorbers. Don't quite like to have my cargo hold that filled. Hey, yeah, that would be great if they actually would finally implement NPCs, yeah. And would be nice if it were not only hostile, but if you could also get, well, friendly NPCs. Coffee. Did I refill my coffee supplies? Yes, I did. So the explosives might be of help, and if I would like to dive for sunken wrecks, I could use the diving suit, but I usually never do. Okay, then get your coffee. Yeah, I would like to have a coffee right now as well. Only, yeah, I'm a bit too lazy to get up now and brew me one, and on the other hand, maybe it's a bit too late and I just couldn't sleep after the stream if I had a coffee now. But I think it would do me well. Alright. Yeah, let's briefly check the warehouse. Show me what you've got. We've got that. Torpedoes are settled. See, we have a... Okay, I'm gonna change that. We got some T3 torpedoes, T5 torpedoes, sound-seeking torpedoes in again. So I want to have them in the stern torpedo storage. Let's get rid of this one. And please get me this one. Yeah, that's great. Now I have the torpedo tube and the spare torpedo now are sound-seeking, and that's great. That saved my ass several times already. When you are at periscope depth, in the middle of a convoy chasing merchantmen, and suddenly you recognize that there is a destroyer on your tail, pretty close, then it's a great measure. Then you could very quickly fire and forget one of these sound-seeking torpedoes abaft and have a pretty good chance that they actually hit and sink, and then you can get away. So it's always great tactics. I recommend that warmly, that as soon as you have the Zaunkönig available, that you put it into your stern torpedoes. And yeah, they are pretty rare, so I usually just save them for my stern torpedo tubes and don't load them into the fore torpedo tubes. Fuel is full, ammo. Ah yeah, what about the deck gun? Yeah. We can't get more. This here, this is the decoys, the sonar decoys. I'm not so sure if they really help much or if they would just add attraction on us. Would be nice if I had a little bit more vegetables. Yeah, should I take another type of food with me? Come on, let's get some cheese. And go with that. Now, how to distribute it again? I should have one slot free. Well, for example, when you get damages and the crew starts to repair, they start to create scrap metal, but they only create it when you have storage space left. So you should always have one slot free in your inventory just in case. But let's check. So 5 medkits with Dr. Breen, 5 medkits with Mr. Hinrich, 5 repair sets with, yeah, these 2 guys are my radio officers. This is my second mechanic, first mechanic. Chief engineer. And our bosun, I always keep one inventory slot of the bosun free, and the captain with medkits. But I just see that Mr. Schneider doesn't have a respirator, a breathing apparatus. So let's see if we can equip him with one. So he's gonna get this breathing apparatus, and let's see if we can get a new one in the warehouse.
Was benötigen Sie, Herr Offizier? Sehen Sie sich die Lagerbestände an.
Yeah. Here we go. I don't need that much explosives. Maybe I better have another breathing apparatus. But they're out. And then let's get that one. We do have plenty of budget. That's not our limitation at the moment. So here we are. You see, it would take 1 day to get the stuff on board. But yeah, high aqua icing. No need for torpedoes. No need for explosives. Particularly if you look at the skills of my officers. This guy here is good as a ship engineer. And so even if we board an enemy ship and drive the crew away, we could still just scuttle it with the skill of my chief engineer. That's good use for explosives, I think, to sink ships, but with this skill here I don't even need the explosives. Yeah, Aquaising, you are always the guy for the straightforward approach, I know. By the way, hey, nice to have you in Aquaising, and I just see weight loss approaching. Good evening. Good evening, both of you. How are you doing? How was your start of the week? We still have the refugees on board, so let's not forget to get rid of them. We can actually let them go, and this gives us reputation and additional budget. So now what do we have? We had injuries. Mr. Weber, I think he went to hospital, was he? What about the other guys? This guy, Mr. Lindemann. Yeah, okay. That was the guy who went ill on tuberculosis on the last trip. So we have to replace him. And Mr. Reitenbach is also in the hospital, 22 days. That was the guy with the broken leg. So we are gonna have to, yeah, he's a diving specialist and he's a silent running specialist and he even is a sea wolf. So too bad that we have to go without them. So that's two guys left and we're gonna have to replace it. We have to gonna replace them. Hey, that kind of sounds like you're quoting some kind of shanty. So I wonder if that refers, the rough sea refers to your real life or to your gameplay. Yeah, nice. Congratulations. That's good. That's very good. So I need two more sailors. Actually, Mr. Weber is available again, as it looks like. So let's get him on board. Let's think about the squads. Let's put Mr. Weber onto that squad. Let's see if we can actually do this. It's always a bit messy to deal with the squads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So I need one more guy. Yeah, these are spare officers actually. Okay, I don't have any spare crew hands, so I have to hire a few new ones. By the way, let's save the game at that point under a new name, W186. I usually try to not reload if a few things don't go like I planned. Are you speaking piratish? Yeah, okay. Ho, ho, ho. And a bottle of rum. Yeah, what did I say? I need additional crew.
sagt, dies könnten ihre neuen Besatzungsmitglieder sein.
Show me the
Möchten Sie die Daten
files.
einsehen? Diese Rekruten könnten sich als wertvolle Unterstützung für ihre Besatzung erweisen.
Okay, come on. Yeah, I need more sailors. Hey Paul, back again with your coffee. Let's take Sparfeld as a sailor. Yeah, let's recruit him. And let's just, yeah, right away make him part of the crew. We just have to find that guy in the list. Hey. Was he automatically made crew member? There he is, Mr. Sparfeld. So I also have to add him. Let's add him to this squad. There he is. So hopefully everything is fine now. If you mess it up with the squad assignments, things get really messy. So the whole automation of the crew roster, of the watch roster, doesn't work anymore if you have not the right people there. Like for example, if one crewman dies and you don't take him off the roster, weird things start to happen. So this management is relatively pro. I mean, I love the whole game, but this part of the crew management, that is a bit tricky, so it needs some care in the beginning, but you could always watch a few YouTube videos where they explain it. But when you really start the game anew from the scratch the very first time, you have to accept that you would have to put maybe an hour into understanding this. Yeah, you said it. And that's the point, right? I mean, Project Zomboid is also one of these games where you could just get lost in. So now, again, we have lost 2 sailors with specializations, but not completely lost, but they went to hospital. But now for this mission, they're not available. Well, that's how it is. Das Sparfeld, the German meaning. Sparen in German means to save money. And Feld is the field. So here we are. Let's take the 1 day off duty to get the stuff on board that we need. And here we see that the milk cow at the moment is going to be addressed to the target area CD4, and it will still take 3 days and 7 hours until it will be there. So this is the very first time that I am operating milk cows in the game, not only in this campaign, but ever since I played the game. This is the first time that I have a milk cow available. So I'm a bit excited about that. So I think everything should be fine now for a next voyage. By the way, guys, I see that there are quite a few people watching and quite a few people participating in the chat. Nice to have you in, guys. And so you guys watching, don't hesitate to participate in the chat. Although it might look like all we guys in the chat are pretty old acquaintances, you are well invited, and don't hesitate to come in and join That's actually why I do this. I mean, I love to just recognize that people like to watch what I do, and I always love to get in contact with people. And yeah, the most exciting thing is when people really come from something like the other side of the ocean. Like Paul, for example. Well, and Aqua-Icing actually is also from the other side of another ocean, to put it like that. Now, let's check with our leading officer. Any orders from Admiralty?
Aktuelle Einsatzbefehle vom BDU, streng geheim.
So now, fingers crossed that we get decent missions. No, it's just shitty missions actually. Just patrol a sector, which is kind of pointless. Then this mine laying mission. It's southern routes. Patrolling the African coast might be interesting, but now I just see that we get another drumbeat patrol sector. So this is what I actually want to do. Continue the drumbeat mission set. And yeah, that's why I actually placed the milk cows somewhere over here. Alright, this mission is said to be of high difficulty level. Yeah, that's quite my, in German we would say quite my Kragenweite. I hope so, but I don't want to boast. Maybe I should not talk like that. Not be overconfident of myself. Reward would be 8,000 Reichsmark. And yeah, the goal would be to sink 10,000 tons again. Okay, and if we do it successfully, we would even get one more officer. But yeah, at that point, maybe the game needs a little bit tweaking, because you get so many officers as rewards, you just don't know what to do with them. Anticipated number of vessels in the area is very large, so this is exactly the type of mission that I like. Hey, great talk. Yes, these landlubbers don't know a bowline knot from a porcelain pot. Yes. Yeah. All hands aloft. Set studding sails and all canvas up. And select this mission. So let's hope that I didn't forget anything important. Hey guys, more people joining the chat. Nice to have you in. That's just great to have you. Don't worry, just looking at the numbers. So you are completely anonymous, but as I used to say, don't hesitate to participate in the chat. Or if you even like what you see, maybe give me a follow. Jimmy. Nice, yep. Yeah, I would turn on a sea chanty in the background. I'm just not quite sure whether I would get any kind of, how you call it, legal problems when I don't own the rights of these songs. So let's just carry on. By the way, we end up now with 12 reputation points. Before we had 11, so we got a bit more reputation, for example, by saving these sailors that we just released. The reputations points are pretty useful to, well, upgrade or to do research, or even to kind of switch or get better missions. Yes, yeah, I have seen it, weight loss, and I'm very curious. But I don't have the time frame at hand. But I'm very curious. The trailer of that game looks pretty amazing. Hey Josh, nice to have you in. Good evening. Yes, I am still afloat. Got some tough beatings with depth charge lately, but still there, and we are just about to go for another mission. We're still situated in the port of La Rochelle. It's April. Oh, it's the 1st of April. It's the 1st of April, and we are just about to cast off to go all the way across the Atlantic and do the second drum beat mission, patrolling the Canadian coast out there. Yeah, Josh, how are you doing? I hope you had a good start of the week. Sorry, wrong one. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. The milk cow is gonna be positioned. Don't see it on the map, but I think I put it somewhere here. CD1, wasn't it? Milk cow is CD4 is gonna be positioned on CD. Where would it be? Here. Let's hope that it is out of the way of enemy patrols, because I'm not quite sure whether there is any risk that your milk cows get sunk. Yeah, alright, that's fine. Now back here, and yeah, it's a long way. It's a very long way. Let's go. Let's go, kleine Fahrt, to make sure that we don't hit any pier. And there we go. There we go. On the move. Underway. To say it in a seamanship way. Isn't this beautiful? I mean, even here in this U-boat pen, it's kind of nicely done how things look like. And yeah, funny thing that meanwhile they even built a U-boat pen across one of the two locks. I didn't know that they did something like that, but well, I guess it is historically accurate. And there we go. Leaving port. Now our job is to reach the patrol area, which will take some patience. As I used to say, this game is, yeah, you get quite some action, but also over long stretches you have to be a bit patient. It's no quick action arcade game, yeah, but it's a real simulation. If you allow it to do so, it can drag you very deeply into it. Yeah, but as I said, you need a bit of patience for the game. And now, first thing is we have to sail across the Atlantic. Of course, we can do some time acceleration, but still, it will take a bit of a time. Yeah, here you see that Mr. Schneider, his main task from the priorities that I gave is to care for the maintenance of the torpedoes. The two other and technical officers, our chief engineer and first mechanic, Mr. Grade and Mr. Ahlers, they are both watch officers, together with Mr. Trimmer. So I do have 3 watch officers and their standing watch in turn. The captain is free of watch. And my two radio officers, they actually just take turns, 12-hour turns on the radio. Yeah, that's how it is. Yeah, you see the lock doors open. I really love these details. I really love them. So let's go out, let's get underway. Quite a lot of people in the stream, actually more than on Friday and Saturday. Well, okay, on Friday it was Halloween, so many people probably were out. But on Saturday I would have expected a few more people hanging around on Twitch, but yeah, I don't know, maybe. Maybe too much hangover from Halloween. However, nice to have all of you guys in. So I love this concept that you really have the lock, and now they are pumping water, not pumping, but letting water in to get to the correct level, and then, yeah, the outer lock door is being opened. By the way, here in the dock, we do have a German man-o-war. I think I can't get in. Quite some nice details. I mean, it's not perfectly kind of modeled in details like in other simulations, but if you consider that it is just a submarine sea simulation, it's pretty amazing which levels of detail you actually get here. Like, for example, here the AA gun, which will actually actively take part in combat if an air raid occurs, and this now and then happens. Already happened to me several times that while I was in port or just leaving port, an allied air raid started, and then you are a bit in trouble. So there we are, out of port. Let's go cruise speed. Yeah, and with this cruise speed we go. If we go faster, we would just burn too much fuel. Yeah, the fuel should just be enough. The last mission on the other side of the Atlantic I actually did without a milk cow. But it took a bit of a micromanagement to always try to optimize the fuel usage. Oh, by the way, there are two messages here which I didn't recognize. Okay. What is this? You're now eligible to get MR Fantastic nameplate for Marvel Rivals. Okay. So I have to admit that I am not playing Marvel Rivals. By the way, let me just mention that I am, since 1 or 2 weeks, I actually found out that there is a feature in my streaming software that I can stream to YouTube in parallel, and I am doing that at the moment. Only point is that our friends on YouTube only see a very small window. That's the boundary condition. Well, maybe if I would get me a paid version, maybe I could do it a different way, but yeah, just as an amateur streamer, my community actually is Twitch, and still I quite like to share what I do a bit on YouTube, but yeah, if you don't like that small format of the screen, well, then either leave it or just join us here on the Twitch stream. Yeah, I'm always afraid that if the YouTube guys hear me say something like that, that they would kind of ban me from YouTube making advertising for Twitch. So please just, I want to advertise for your understanding, you guys watching on YouTube. Please understand that you have this lower quality there with just this small window. My main streaming focuses on Twitch actually. Yeah, it's 7 o'clock in the morning, isn't it? Yep. So there we are leaving the port. Nice view, isn't it? I can't emphasize it often enough how much I love this kind of view here. When the Bose is splitting the waves, the spray going high up. And you really taste the salt on your lips. Yeah, you see the captain up there with the binoculars. Isn't it nice? Isn't that nice? Believe me, I'm not paid for advertising by this company, by the programmers of U-Boat. I just love the game so much. Now, what else can we do then? Well, save once, and then doing a bit of a time acceleration. Yeah, or fishing boats, lots of fishing boats around. Hi guys, nice to have you in this stream. We are just casting off from La Rochelle, going on the large voyage over the pond to patrol the Canadian coast. Yeah, every 4 hours we have a change of watch. And I try to optimize the fuel usage, like when I have one officer at the engines with 2 off-watch hands and one officer at the map with 2 off-watch hands. This actually saves me in total 50% of fuel. But you have to keep that up more or less manually every 4 hours, so that takes a bit of patience. But it definitely, considerably increases your range if you do it like that. So let's go. Another change of watch now in the afternoon, still nice weather. Partly clouded, but everything fine, not too much of a wave. It's 11 knots of wind speed, which is moderate. Yeah, you always have to keep an eye on the fitness of the crewmates. Like for example here, Mr. Trummel was now up on the map for 2 watches in a row, and you see that his fitness bar went pretty far down, so the next watch I let him sleep, while Mr. Grade takes over the engine control from Mr. Arles. And carry on another 4 hours.
Navigation besetzen. Diesel besetzen.
On we go. We follow the taillights out of the city, moving in a river of red.
könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Navigation besetzen.
I wonder if that song rings a bell with anybody.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Now it is night time, 2 o'clock, and yeah, believe me, at night, even, yeah, particularly if you had that bad rainy weather, you don't see anything. Your vision range is close to 0. Yeah, I am playing at almost maximum difficulty level, which also includes the fact that you have dark nights. And on we go.
Torpedorohr 1 gewartet.
Navigation besetzen. Diesel besetzen.
Torpedorohr 1 gewartet. Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Navigation besetzen.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung. Bestätige.
Navigation besetzen.
Yeah, this is this micromanagement which helps to keep the fuel usage down. So what do we have? We are, well, only down to 96% of fuel. And what about discipline? Discipline seems to be going down overall. It's still on a high level, but with a tendency to go down because of that fatigue of the crew, actually. So maybe I should increase the variety of food. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, I could put the cheese into the galley, but do I really want to do that at that point? Maybe I can afford to let discipline drop a bit, and by this not use so much fuel. So if you offer different types of food, you increase the discipline, but you also increase the overall usage of food, so they consume more food in total then, which keeps them at a higher discipline level. So here we go. Another save. Better safe than sorry.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Navigation besetzen.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung. Wird erledigt, Herr Kaloin.
Navigation besetzen. Diesel besetzen.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Betrachten Sie es als erledigt, Herr Kalon.
Folgen Sie mir.
Natürlich, Herr Kalon.
Hey, Mr. Trummer. If you were so kind and look at the navigation. Thank you very much.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Navigation besetzen. Diesel besetzen.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Navigation besetzen.
Uns wurde von einem verbündeten Boot ein mögliches Ziel.
Ah, okay. Another German submarine spotted. Some contacts and yeah, let's see. Actually, I think I would not attack any enemies around here, but just for the sake of completeness, let's check, figure out where that contact is that the submarine reported. BE549. BE549. It's not that far away. Pretty intriguing to go for that guy. What was it? Single contact? I think it was a single contact, wasn't it? Let's check it again. BE549, course 62, 6 knots. Ah, it's a convoy. Alright. Only 6 knots, that's really slow. Convoy 01. Yes, something like that. And if it's going with 6 knots, 1 hour, they would be there. Yeah, it would be nice to intercept them, but I want to save my torpedoes from my target area. Let's not do that right now, but let's carry on.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Fuel, still more than 90%.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen. Bestätige.
Torpedorohr 5 gewartet.
Navigation besetzen. Diesel besetzen. Navigation besetzen.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung. Torpedorohr 2 gewartet.
This task was completed. Okay, alright. The Admiralty positively responds to your request and directed the Milko to the new map square. This will improve your capability to resupply and refuel at sea when we are near this area. Okay, I am very curious. Can we do any other mission at the moment? I mean, any other research? Armored conning tower. What costs me more? This would cost me 3, this would cost me 3. What do you think? What's better? To have better accumulators or to have a better conning tower? these conning towers will only fit on type 7C, which is just fine because I have them. I have a 7.3C here. Okay, improve the anti-aircraft capabilities. More heavily armored conning towers and also equip them with better AA guns. Yeah. But yeah, the problem at the moment is not the air attacks, but yeah, when I try to surface attack merchantmen, meanwhile the merchantmen actually carry guns, and these guns are quite a heavy threat. So maybe at the moment better go for the accumulators. I think I have to address it to an engineer. Let's him do it, and this will now cost 3 reputation points of the 12 that I have. And it will take how long? 24 days. Well, I think that's fine. Let's do it. Only thing that worries me is that this actually kind of blocks the slot that I might need if I would want to move the milk cow. Yeah, you usually have 2 development slots, but I went in difficulty level, I went to the situation that I can only actively control 1 slot, and the other one, yeah, it's managed by high command and just gives developments which are historically correct. And as I'm far ahead with my development to history, at the moment I don't get much from this second slot. So de facto I only have 1 slot left at the moment. So enough of talk. Let's
Navigation besetzen.
carry on.
Diesel besetzen.
Torpedorohr 2 gewartet.
Torpedorohr 1 gewartet. Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Navigation besetzen.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Bestätige.
Missing workers on the conning tower. Anything wrong with the guys? Yeah, sometimes you get this mission and it doesn't mean much, but sometimes it might indicate that there is something wrong with your crew management. Yes, I did. You don't see it on the map, but I actually directed it to CD. Let me see, where did I direct it to? Hey, how can I actually see it now on the map when it's not an active task anymore? Okay, that might be regarded as a bit buggy. And I did direct it to CD4. Here, CD4. So you really have to keep that in mind, or can you see anywhere where you can actually, where you did actually direct it to? Yeah, okay, yep, now I understand your point. So, I hope that I have it correctly in mind, that it was there. So what would you do? Would you pass by the milk cow on the way in and already refuel and then get in? Or would you just get in, fire torpedoes, and then refuel and get back in? Yeah, good point. Let me do it like that. CD4, there it is. Yeah, that's a good point. So we don't have to go through. Oh, interesting. Huh.
Torpedo-Rohr
So we really do a swing by there. Which is this? Is this the Azores? Okay, yeah, let's give it a save. I think I can use the milk cow several times, can't I? I think I read that they have some kind of a cooldown time, but after not too much of time I could get back there and they have their storage reloaded. Yeah, let's... Ah, that's nice. Could they get sunk? I mean, could it be if I position them too close to the enemy coast that somebody gets in, some enemy gets in and kills them? Why should I do this? I mean, I might be curious what it is around there, but why should I actually go for that island? But then it's just kind of statistics, yeah? I mean, at one point, if you are in bad luck, you just get reported that your milk cow gets sunk. Ah, okay, alright, the Azores and Flores, yeah. But I think I would better like to go straight and go flank speed. Now I'm burning a lot of fuel because I'm not doing this optimization.
Torpedo-Rohr 3 gewartet.
Yeah, so do you think this is fine here? I don't know, yeah, I think it should be fairly out of aircraft range over there. But let's keep an eye on our discipline. It is dropping, so we should... Oh, nice. Nice atmosphere again. It's early morning and the sun hasn't yet risen. So here we are. Yeah, let's offer a third type of food. Maybe let's keep the vegetable. We might have other uses for it. And top off the sausages and offer some fish. So now I have 3 different types of food. And let's see what this is gonna do to our discipline. Yeah, that should replenish our discipline soon, in 2 days, alright. Nice view again. I really love how they model the movement of the boat through the waves. You really have all these degrees of freedom. The boat swinging across all the axes. Pretty much like how they do that. At the moment I do have the feeling that it's more swinging to the left and then to the right than it usually does. Now, another save game. 84% of fuel. And on we go.
Torpedorohr 5
Ah shit, now low accuracy of navigation.
Ich benötige hier etwas
Yeah, but
Unterstützung.
very good. So Mr. Trummer went to the navigation by himself. Let's get him to the navigation station for another shift, for another watch. Just to make sure that navigation correctness goes up. It's this number here.
Navigation besetzen.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Jawohl, ich kümmere mich darum.
Okay, what do we get? What's up? Mr. Preen, what's up? Oh, mold. Officer Dr. Preen reports problem in the galley. Upon opening the stores, he found a layer of mold growing across the dried fish. It appears that the batch has been affected by the damp conditions. While the affected portion can likely be cut away, leaving it the remainder edible, this development will undoubtedly be a serious blow to the mold. Men will be unhappy if we order them to consume this food. Ah, okay, come on. So what would I do? We are out here, I think. Do we also get food? Would we also get food from the milk cow? All that I read about was that you can torpedoes and that you can get fuel at the milk cows, but I'm not sure if you also get food. And this is now pretty much depending on how to deal with this. Yeah, come on, let's throw it all away. Freshly baked bread, wow, great, yes. Now that you say it, I heard about that. This rings a bell. By the way, I haven't been baking bread by myself for quite a while. I should do it again. Some nice self-made DIY sourdough bread. So now let's see what do we have left in the galley. Yeah, shit, all the fish was thrown away. Do you think that it's actually implemented in the game? Yes. How long will it take? Any news? Yeah. I just take it as it comes. Good point for me is the longer it takes until the Type 9 comes, the longer I can quietly carry on with this mission here. We are back to, no, not yet, but it's increasing. Discipline is increasing, 95%. W187. Just want to have one more save game, different save game, just in case that I somehow fuck it up with the fuel and don't get back home. On we go.
Torpedorohr 4 gewartet.
Okay, Let's see, anything about the crew? Yeah, you never know. It takes ages until these tuberculosis guys get healthy again. Too bad that my sea wolf, my only confirmed sea wolf, actually got tuberculosis.
Navigation besetzen.
So I'm curious what I'm gonna have to do to actually activate. Yeah, I had it. I had one tuberculosis case already quite some time ago, and it took ages, but finally he did recover. But it might be that it took a year or something, or half a year.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Torpedorohr 5 gewartet.
All right, there we go in. For the milk cow, I'm very curious
Navigation besetzen.
how this is gonna work now.
Benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Just hope that I did keep the quadrant correctly in mind, that the milk cow is actually here now in CD4.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
So now if I send one officer to the radio room, would I be able to radio for the milk cow?
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Or how does it work?
Torpedorohr 5 gewartet.
It was CD4, wasn't it? So weight loss, you are the seasoned sailor in real life as in U-boat. So could you help me what to do now to call for the milk cow? Yeah, okay. I mean, this one here, request resupply. Nice. Okay.
Funkspruch erhalten.
Resupply is currently possible at U462. Rendezvous coordinates. Blah blah blah. Supply ship will wait there for 1 day. Coordinates added to the map. Do I have that now on the map, even though I'm playing on that high difficulty level? Alright.
Setzen.
He will be there 1 day. So let's mark the date, which is 9/09/04. Time. Okay, now I have to be there within a day. Yep, that should be not too much of a problem.
Kurs setzen.
Yeah, I could actually
Große Fahrt
speed up,
voraus.
get a bit faster, and then it would be 10 hours. Yep. So if I go with 30 knots, would even less than 10 hours. So save the game. This is very nice. I'm so curious how this is gonna look like. Yeah, I think I can let the radio man step away from the radio.
Herr Kapitän? Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Wird erledigt, Herr Kanoi.
Now again, sometime acceleration, so it's 1 o'clock. Plus, say, yeah, 10 o'clock I should be there. Would be nighttime. So let's hope that it's not too tricky to locate them at nighttime. Maybe I would like to have a bit more navigation precision. Now we are closing in. It's 9 o'clock. Ah, yes, this is the time deviation that we have here. So it pretty much looks like the time of the chronometer is going for the Greenwich time, which means that at 9 o'clock it's still not yet sunset. We still have a bit of daylight left. I have to keep that in mind, that here over the Atlantic we have something like 4 hours time difference. So it's 9 o'clock and the sun is still slightly up the horizon. We still have a bit of daylight, we still have a bit of vision range. Let's man the bridge.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung. Massenspitze, kleine Gruppe, Peilung, 0 Grad.
There they are.
U-Boot, direkt voraus.
Yeah, very good. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, pretty shaky sea. Yeah, yesterday, or well, when I do the last stream on Saturday night, I think I figured out that it's more like UTC plus 4. I mean, UTC is Greenwich time, right? So I think it's more like UTC plus 4 around there. Okay, where are they? No eyes yet. Okay, now I get your point. Yep. Yep. You think that they don't use Greenwich time on a German sub, but they use something like Berlin time, yeah? Yep. Yeah, okay, and finally, if the delta is 4 hours or 5 hours, that's a bit hard to figure out. Just by guesswork, but it's plausible. Something like 4 or 5 hours time deviation that we have. Yep. All right, that looks good. We are down to 68% of fuel. That's quite a lot, but if we can refuel with that guy, that's fine. Yeah, might be, yep. But I quite like that. I mean, it would be even nicer if you had kind of two chronometers. One showing Greenwich time and one showing local time. I mean, you could adjust a watch according to local time by adjusting it whenever at noon the sun, when it is exactly in the south, or adjusting it by sunrise and sunset. So from tables you could actually get the exact time of sunrise and sunset depending on your position and adjust the watch like that. So that would be a nice suggestion, that you would actually have two times, one with the Greenwich time and one with the local time. But that they actually use this, the Greenwich time, and with this -4 or 5 hours of time deviation, so the sun rises later and sets later. That shows that they are really doing some nice things and really dug deep into it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that would be good. And even then, it would be nice if you would have both times, the local time and the Greenwich time. If you could actually see them, that would spice, the reality level feeling. So now we are approaching the milk cow. I am actually approaching a milk cow in this game for the very first time. So you can't imagine how excited I actually am. Hey, where are you, milk cow? There they are. Let's see how they model it. Do they actually use a different model of submarine for it? Or do they just use the Type 7 model? From here I cannot yet judge. The bows might look a bit more pronounced, but I'm not sure. The conning tower just looks ordinary, like a Type 7. We will see. We will get closer and we will see. Let's reduce speed. Don't want to provoke a collision. Give it a save. One more. Guys, what are you doing? Target is still a bit too far, obviously. Yeah, maybe the whole hull looks a bit more bulky, but I'm not quite sure. Well, come on, let's do a bit of a cinematic view. I mean, some guys might call it cheating, but I call it cinematic view. And let's get there and look at it. Ah, okay, nice. See, it's a different model. It's definitely a different model. Very nice. There is even people hanging around at the conning tower. That's just great. Look at that one, how bulky it actually is. Nice. Very nice. Can I get into the model? Nah, you can't. Yeah, it's pretty lucky that we still have a little bit of a daylight left. She is, yeah. She is actually a big girl, yeah. Sun has set meanwhile, but we are almost there. Can we see our sub? Yeah, there we are. There we are, coming in. I think we should soon be in interaction range. Yeah, we are. Well, just for the sake of, I don't know, for actually having it looking nice, let's get a bit closer.
Kurs setzen.
Betrachten Sie es als erledigt, Herr Kaloy.
Go like that. And stop
Alle
it.
Maschinen stopp.
So, hey guys, where are they? There they are. Nice. Now we are on almost parallel course. Aha. First time. Very first time that I made with a milk cow. Now, click to interact, send a delegation. It's a friendly supply ship, often called Milk Cow by the U-boat crews. We can send our people to it to communicate with its crew and order resupply. Let's do that. So let's send the bosun. I don't know, do they need guns? The no, that's not the bosun, the chief engineer, the second engineer, and the bosun. Here we have the bosun, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ranks, and let them check. So if you send all the guys over there and just over, meanwhile an air raid would arise, then you would be in trouble. I think, nice. Hey, you see a small Zodiac. This is what you don't have in the other animations. There was a small Zodiac passing between the two ships. Nice, I like that. The skipper of this supply ship warmly greets your delegation on board of the U-462. He then starts with introducing himself as Erwin Wernicke, and invites your crew to taste the freshly baked bread of their ship. So, right, so ask how their service is going. Erwin makes hard sigh and tells that it was a hard mission for them. They already managed to resupply 2 other U-boats. At the second try, they were attacked by the aircraft and 2 of his men died. He explains that they were still young men, great sailors, and even better people. And then he stops suddenly and becomes very sad. We are sorry for your loss. So see the cargo. What can we get? All right, potato and fresh bread, like you promised. Yep. At that point, I think I'm gonna prefer. What shall we do? Let's take the potatoes. Like that. So what else do we have? The items. Torpedoes, we haven't fired any, but refuel, that's important. Do that. Didn't fire any ammo, so that's just fine. Food we got. Yeah, we could get some more cheese. What about equipment? We are fine with equipment, aren't we? I wonder if I should get a bit more cheese, maybe. Come on, now that we are here, let's get something like 20 more pieces of cheese. And with this, we should be perfectly fine. Refuel, torpedoes are fine. Hey, they even have a Soundkönig torpedo. Yeah, but I'm fine. Yeah, we can only go for the storage. That's logical somehow. Yeah, let's go for that. Let's go for that. We don't have any survivors, so let's turn to the ship and do the transfer. Now that's one day where we are pretty vulnerable, transferring all the stuff on board. That's the cheese, sausages, yeah, I think that is perfectly fine. So thanks a lot, guys. That was great to meet you, and thanks for the supply.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Let's start moving again. And now we have to be a little bit more careful about saving fuel. Great. I love this concept of the milk cow. And now let's get to our patrol area. Give it a save.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Natürlich, Herr Kaloy.
Endlich ein paar Stunden Pause.
Navigation besetzen. Diesel besetzen.
There we go. On the final stretch towards our patrol area.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Navigation besetzen.
For the way back, we need something like 35% of our fuel. That's our limit.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloy.
Yeah, hi guys, by the way, welcome, or let me send some greetings to all of you guys in the chat. The number is slightly going up again, so nice to have you in. Don't feel observed, you can watch perfectly anonymous if you like to, but of course you always make me happy with a small comment in the chat or maybe even a follow. And let me also greet our friends on YouTube, although if I look at it right now it's not too many. this time, last stream it was loads of people watching over YouTube, but I always have to excuse myself because the video quality on YouTube is relatively low because my main focus is on Twitch. Yeah. So, just one guy watching on YouTube as it looks like, and quite a few people watching on Twitch. Hi guys, I love you.
Navigation besetzen.
On we go.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Wird erledigt, Herr Kaloy.
Now it's a bit of a patience thing again.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Jawohl, ich kümmere mich darum.
Navigation besetzen.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Bestätige. Schleichfahrt.
No, we don't need silent
Schleichfahrt
running.
beenden.
That was just a wrong order. No need for silent running at the moment.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Wird erledigt, Herr Kaloy. Navigation besetzen.
Ich benötige hier etwas Unterstützung.
Natürlich, Herr Kaloy.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
And we are almost there, almost in the mission area.
Navigation besetzen.
There we come into the patrol area.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen. Jawohl, Herr Kaloy.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
Jawohl, Herr Kaloy.
Now it's midnight and we are passing into the patrol area. Now let's send
Ich könnte
that
etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
information to the headquarters. Guy.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
So somebody has to operate the radio, and let's report this to the headquarters. We have reached the patrol area.
Kurs setzen. Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Okay,
Telegramm gesendet.
the report went out, so you can
Herr Kaloy,
go back to your standard routine, which is you are off watch, take a rest. Nighttime, pretty dark, but yeah, if you ask me, it looks like we have a bit of moonlight, haven't we? Let's check on the map. No, we haven't. No moon, but still, doesn't look too dark. Yeah, we are going with red lights at night, always, which means that, yeah, your eyes get better used to darkness. And this actually makes a difference. If you turn on the red light, you have a little bit of better eyesight up here on the bridge, on the conning tower. So we are actually using up our fish And, well, discipline. Ah, yeah, it's... yeah, we are up to fatigue of 9. Yeah. Yeah, now we are actually doing very prolonged trips. And now fatigue really matters. So, yeah, if you look at it, I should even offer more different food, shouldn't I? So let's throw in the potatoes. And let's see, this would increase our discipline within the next 20 hours. Hi guys, great to have you in. Yeah, we have just approached our mission area. Hey, bombing Fritz. Ha, nice. Oh wow, that's amazing. Thanks very much for the raid. And yeah, hi Fritz, hi all of you guys. Yeah, well, you are a big streamer compared to me. Haha, nice, thank you. So have you been playing U-Boat, Fritz? Yeah, there you are. Don't call me chicken. Nice to have you in, guys. So let me briefly give you a situation report. We are in mid-April of 1942 and I'm doing a complete playthrough, so I started this one in the very beginning of 39, like everybody in the port of Wilhelmshaven, and meanwhile we are stationed at La Rochelle, and yeah, you see that I am just about starting to do the missions overseas, and I just had my first milk cow encounter ever. Yeah, me too. I'm also an OG, but yeah, I love to stream in English because, yeah, my time of streaming is usually pretty late. And so I pretty much like to also have our friends from the US in the stream or Canada. Yeah, all right. That's where we are at the moment. I think I briefly watched your stream. I think you are also one of these tough guys who say who don't reload when you die, right? Is it like that you really play the hardcore thing? No reload, permadeath. Yeah, I really admire this. On the one hand, I always think about if I should do it just the same way, but on the other hand, yeah, I mean, if I look back, I would never have come so far in the game like here. I think I did some reloads just for fun, like to try something out, but I actually did, to get here in this scenario, I think I did maybe 5 reloads where I actually did die. Yeah, but when you're playing permadeath, maybe you really have to adjust your strategy a bit. Like being not that dashy anymore and more careful, I guess. Yeah, actually, I'm playing at maximum difficulty level, which doesn't make it easier. Say almost maximum difficulty level, something like, I think it's 98% or something in numbers. So I'm playing Dark Knights. I'm not having the contacts marked on the map. So I have all that target tracking to do manual, but yeah, pretty much like that. Now 2 o'clock at night. Let's give us a bit of time acceleration. Yeah, as you see, we just entered our target area. So next step to do would be a hydrophone check. Yes, isn't it? You really have to kind of wait that and not take too much risks. Yep. So I really like the approach. It's just like sometimes I'm just stupid. Doesn't happen too often, luckily, but then you just do some stupid mistake and you say, hey, fuck it, and I'm gonna reload. And then I'm happy that I didn't put these hard boundary conditions upon me. But yeah, as I said, I quite like that approach. On the other hand, what I also always would love to try out is to do the complete first-person thingy. Although even the developers, I think they still do not recommend that, because even the developers think that this is rather unplayable. Did you ever try a longer stretch of playing the game in the complete first-person mode? It's still dark. So, guys, let's do a hydrophone check. Ah, yeah, amazing. That's pretty amazing. I have to admit that I didn't even try it yet. This game mode. I don't know. I think I didn't. Maybe just briefly. Yes, right, isn't it? Yeah, I see. That's a problem. That's pretty hard, I guess. And yeah, damage control is really that. I mean, that's the critical thing in the game.
25 Meter.
And yeah, you would need to get some decent reports, I think. I don't know if the reports you get are sufficient. You would really have to kind of get an overview and can still order guys to do things and not just have to walk there by yourself to any damage. And this is, I think, what you would have to do in first person, right? To actually walk to any damage personally and address to have it fixed.
50 Meter.
Yep, that's right. That's right. So I always have a bit of a bad conscience when I kind of do this cinematic view, but still I now and then just do it. Like here now you can get to the surface and get a bit of an overview of the scenery. Of course, right now there's nothing to see, but yeah, I kind of now and then I actually use this cinematic view. And yeah, I try to minimize it and try not to use it to get information about some ships that I'm attacking, but yeah, as I said, now and then it's pretty nice for the stream in watching people to get a bit of an overview of the situation, and of course it helps you in the game just as well. And by now I think there is no possibility in the difficulty level settings to actually switch this possibility off.
Aktuelle Tiefe 45 Meter.
Torpedorohr 3 gewartet.
Yeah, okay. Yep. So it's not that bad as I thought, but still you can't just stay in the command central and order people to something like stop the leak in the stern torpedo tube. You would torpedo section. You would actually have to go there, right? Or well, slip into the role of another player and go there. But you couldn't just order it to be done without getting there. That's what I understand. So now, guys, it's just 4 knots of wind speed up there, so we will have quite some enormous range of detection. Should be up to 90. Okay, all right. So you could still address certain, well, actions. Yeah, okay, all right. That makes sense, and that might help. Okay. A large group somewhere there. So let's give it a rough positioning on the map. Convoy is actually the second convoy on that patrol. And yeah, any more information? It's shit, it's moving away. Well, but let's check it. Let's now finish. Let's finish the 5 minutes of hydrophone check if there is any other contacts around. And if not, we are gonna chase these guys, although they are moving away.
Torpedorohr 4 gewartet.
Hey, Bombing Fritz, thanks a lot for the follow. I'm definitely gonna go for your stream. Just, yeah, as I said, today I was just briefly looking, but my problem always is that over the day I don't have too much time. There is work and family, and this is why usually I just get into the streaming business after something like, yeah, earliest 11 or sometimes only 12 o'clock like tonight. Yes, yeah, you said you are also from Germany, so we all suffer from that. It's already something like 2 o'clock.
40 Meter.
Yeah, take away their repair priority, yeah. Good point. Yeah, Fritz. So, that was the Matratzengehorchdienst, yeah. Yeah, nice. It was a pleasure to have you in. Thank you for bringing all your mates. And yeah, looking forward to see you again. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the raid. And see you. Have a good night. Yeah, I think I'm still gonna do maybe 1 more hour of streaming. I can afford it. I can sleep a little bit longer tomorrow. But then, let's see, what is it? It's Thursday, maybe. Actually, my work schedule this week is a little bit less tight than the last weeks. So maybe I could even do another stream tomorrow night. And then, yeah, my standard Thursday night stream. So, yeah, there were a few weeks, something like 2 months ago, when I was able to stream almost every night. But yeah, right now my workload doesn't quite allow that. Last month was pretty busy, but yeah, as I said, this week might be a bit relaxed. So there we are, back to the surface. And now the chase begins. Let's go for that convoy. At the moment we have no idea which direction it's heading for. I want Mr. Trunnell at the map. And I want Mr. Arlos at the engines.
Ich könnte etwas Hilfe gebrauchen.
So that we can go flank speed. Flank speed means we can go something like roughly 17 miles in 1 hour. And these guys, I don't know, what was it? Medium speed convoy. Worst case, they're moving away. Medium speed might be 8, 9. Yeah, worst case, I think they are moving with something like 9. Ah, shit, fuck. Well, now I actually erased that data point here, which is too bad, convoy 02. And this is what I actually wanted to do. Let's say if they are going 10 miles, they would be somewhere there. Of course, this is now a bit imprecise because I lost that first data point. That was not very smart of me. Well, but yeah, shit happens. One hour, and let's do another hydrophone check. Let's get a second data point where they are now. We have a bit of water in the bilge. Yeah, but hey, just 12 liters, that's almost nothing. Hey, you guys coming in with Bomb and Fritz. That was just a great pleasure to have all of you in. Don't know if a few of you are still watching. Looks like Bombing Fritz is quite a large streamer. I mean, I'm just a small streamer. I'm always happy having something like 10 or 15 people watching. And he comes in doing a raid with something like 50 guys. Pretty amazing. Nice to have you in. Okay, there he is. CO2, second data point. So that would be, yeah, makes sense. Maybe he's just going with 8 miles. yeah, you always draw that connection to the new DLC, yeah. Where is it? how long are they gonna keep us waiting?
45 Meter. Ich erwarte Ihre Befehle.
So, one data point. If we extrapolate it,
50 Meter.
we would have them moving like that, and we are gonna continue chasing them. What's the limit actually? What's the limit of the Operation Drumbeat? CA, CB, BA, BB, DA, DB, DC. So would it also be CB down here? CA, CB. Okay, so all these quadrants here are still part of that mission set. So if I sink them down there, even though it's out of my original patrol area, it would count for the Operation Drumbeat. Good to know. So here we are.
Herr Kapitän,
That's the contact, but no other contact at the moment, as it looks like.
Torpedorohr 5 gewartet.
Yeah, here we are at 50 meters, not quite 50 meters, so it is, hey, come on, yeah, it's 5,000, it's completely, yeah, unfathomable depths underneath our keel, 5,000 to 6,000 meters, so if we would sink here, we would be away forever. Oh, by the way, let me be AFK just for 1 minute. Don't go away. Now the real chase actually begins. All right, back again. Great that you're still there. minutes to go for the hydrophone check. And then we are gonna go back to the surface
30 Meter. 5 Meter.
and go something like that.
Betrachten Sie es als
Are
Erledigt, Herr Kalor.
going flank speed.
Neun, wir sind aufgetaucht.
And now let's see, what would it be? Another 1 hour. Bring us here. And another 1 hour would bring them, if my reckonings here are correct, would bring them there. So let's go for 1 more hour and do another hydrophone check to really figure out what their course is, because our first data point was a bit, due to my own fault, the first data point was a bit uncertain. They are all uncertain, but this one was particularly uncertain. So it's 20 past 7. Let's go for 20 past 8. 1 hour. Here we are. Yeah, there we have some decent hint of daylight. The sun hasn't yet risen, but it already sheds its light across the horizon. Yeah, one of these scenes that I love about the game. Just before sunrise, the sea rather flat, no wind, and the boat just cutting through the sea, spray going up, and almost no movement in the boat. Probably we're still down to 4 knots of wind speed. Yeah, we are. So here we are, and let's give it another hydrophone check.
Tauchen auf 50 Meter.
Discipline is up to 96, that's alright. And fuel is down to 90%, okay. From here to there we lost 10%. But yeah, we have to keep in mind that, hey, that's a bit weird. That's a lot. Well, yeah, we are gonna have to handle it later on the way back. I think at the moment everything is fine.
Aktuelle Tiefe 5 Meter.
Auf E-Motoren wechseln.
And down we go.
Meter. Meter. Schraubengeräusche. Große Gruppe. Peilung 355 Grad.
Alright, that's them again. That's our next data point.
Meter.
Okay. Okay, this says something like 9 knots. Them moving faster. Yeah, okay. But what else could I do than collecting more data points? Assuming them to go like that would now mean next extrapolation would let me expect them to be there. Yeah, let's just follow them and track them down. Yeah, that was so nice of Bombing Fritz to join our stream. And yeah, I think if you have some faithful watchers, they would, like right now, probably most of the guys in the stream of Fritz, I guess you are Germans, so I guess that there might be quite a few people who actually just went to bed and let the stream go to, to do something good to Fritz. And right now I get this, and that's so very nice that now if you just went to bed and leave the stream running, Fritz stream running, now I actually get your views. And my hope always is, if I have more, I mean, I'm not doing that for money, it's just pennies that you get from that if you stream like me. But in principle, yeah, having more viewers of course helps, because I think you get higher up in the ranking, like you get more suggested to other watchers and things like that. Hey, yes. Thank you. I regard this as kind of a compliment. So the only sudden loud noises come from the game. So what you say might it was. Yeah, sometimes I have this problem when I'm manning the listening post, the hydrophone by myself, right? This is maybe what you mean. And sometimes I'm actually spamming you with loud noises of propellers when I kind of overdo it with the amplification.
Herr Kapitän?
Yeah, that's him. Let's finish 5 minutes of hydrophone check and then get back to the surface. Yeah, I always finish the 5 minutes just in case we might detect something else.
35 Meter.
Okay, yeah, that's the other aspect, yeah. I'm very sorry. Yeah, not that much in midweek like right now, but yeah, I admit that sometimes late night I feel that terrible urge to get me some crisps and then molest you, watchers, with that sound of crisps. Yeah, but that's the good thing about being an amateur streamer. Then you don't have to have too much. You don't have to have too much of a bad conscience about doing that, because I am just an amateur streamer, just doing it for fun, and yeah, always enjoying these kind of nice conversations that we used to have. There we are, back to the surface. Diesel engines turned on again, and again we are cutting through the waves. And doing the chase. Give it a save, and yeah, another hour. Let's go for another hour and do another hydrophone check. It's so important to get a good picture of their course and of their speed by hydrophone check front up, because both is pretty hard to figure out when you are closing up and just observing ships through the periscope. 20 to 9, let's go for 20 to 10. Here we are. And here we go for another hydrophone check. Sun is up meanwhile. There it is. Who's on the watch? Okay, guys, that's a bit weird. There is no one on... okay, yeah, of course, there is no one on watch because I just ordered to dive. Yes, of course. So all the guys are down here. Nice. The depth steer is being manned. The ballast tanks are probably 100% flooded by now, and down we go.
Schraubengeräusche. Große Gruppe. Peilung 345 Grad. 25 Meter. Herr Kaloy?
So it looks like now my dead reckoning here seems to be pretty correct. Convoy 02.
45 Meter.
Yeah, 8 miles. Looks like they're going something like 8 miles. Good thing is that my Mark 7 submarine is considerably faster at the surface, so it's pretty easy to circumnavigate them and cut off their way. And that's what we are gonna do, and it's just sunrise, so it looks realistic that this is gonna be a day attack. I don't like night attacks, to be honest.
Meter.
Yeah, okay. Hey, that looks pretty precise what I'm doing here. Yeah, but it's tough. It's a large convoy, and that far into the war, large convoys are accompanied by a large number of escorts. So it becomes harder and harder to actually infiltrate these guys. On my last mission, my first infiltration completely went wrong, so I got a hard beating, and they almost sank me with their depth charge, but I got away. And then, well, after hours, I got away and then got up back to the surface, and yeah, on the surface circumnavigated the convoy once more and infiltrated it a second time. And the good thing was that on that second attack, there was just only one escort left. All the other escorts kind of dispersed, following me, following other submarines. And so on that second try, it was pretty easy to get into the convoy. Yeah, but that's April 1942 problems and a year ago. And that's so nice that you have this dynamic feeling. A year ago, things were much easier. It was much easier to get into convoys, to attack them. They had much less escort, and the tactics of the escort was much more unprofessional. And that's also one more of these wonderful aspects of this game, that yeah, it really develops, the campaign develops. You really feel how the abilities of the enemy get better and better. Any other contact at the moment? No, it doesn't look like that, doesn't sound like that. It's just them, obviously. Accelerate, yeah, 5 minutes. And back to the surface. So another 1 hour should bring us here. Yeah, the sea is completely flat, and this is also nice that this is kind of heated in the game. When you have rough sea, the boat is actually going slower than when you have a flat sea. Hey, hey, what was it? Ganze shooting. So did you have any effect in the stream? If you had, I would be very interested in any feedback of you other guys watching if you also had something. So what was it? What did you actually see? Or what was the problem in the stream? But well, anyway, first things first, nice to have you in. Haven't seen you for a while, but great to have you in the chat. So yeah, hope you had a good start into the week. How are you doing? Everything was green and pixelated for a bit. Yeah, interesting. I sometimes have this in my small representation here on that other screen, but I thought that it was not. Ah, okay, alright. You have that as well. Interesting. So I hope it's not too much of a bother. Of a nuisance. I cannot explain just any bullshit with like, ooh, I'm just an amateur streamer. But yeah, of course, I hope that I can kind of deliver a minimum of stream quality.
Februar 2 gewartet.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So let's go for one more hour. 10 to 10, let's go to 10 to 11. By the way, it's change watch. Watch change at 10 o'clock. Let's see what we have then. And let's carry on to 10 to 11. Here we are, one more hour. And let's, yeah, give it a save. Better safe than sorry. And let's do another hydrophone check. Just to confirm their course. By now I think I have a very good picture of their course, but I just want to make sure that it is correct. Because, yeah, the hydrophone readings do have quite some uncertainty. And, yeah, I love that. I love these uncertainties that they build into the game. Because never anything is precise. And they have it. Yeah, hey, ganze shooten, exactly. It's even 2:30 around here. And yeah, I think I'm gonna do it for another half an hour and then I'm gonna go to bed. The last weeks I didn't stream over the week, but only at weekend. But yeah, tonight I decided that tomorrow I can afford to sleep a little bit longer. I was pushing my job quite a bit the last weeks, so this weekend can go a little bit more easy. So what time is it at your place actually? Ganze shooten. To be honest, I don't remember where you're from.
Schraubengeräusche. Großer Konvoi. Peilung 340 Grad.
Yeah, it's just fine. I think I have to get up at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Ah, Pittsburgh. Yeah, nice. So, of course, much earlier, 20:30. Yeah, okay, all right. Pittsburgh. So, 6 hours, is it? To Pittsburgh? Yeah, nice.
50 Meter.
Pennsylvania, yeah, all right. Never been there, but a friend of mine is old school friend, and we are still pretty close.
45 Meter.
He, yeah, job wise, he traveled to Pittsburgh quite a lot, but that's a few years ago. Is that the name of your part of the town, Deutschtown? Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, well, that's what I understand, or, well, as far as I could judge, I understand that you still have quite some, yeah, communities over there which are still aware of their German origins. Like, I mean, there is a lot of people from Ireland, I guess, but also quite a considerable bunch of people who have their roots in Germany, right? Like if you go back like to 3 or 4 generations, your grandpa
45 Meter.
haven't been a guy from like Ireland or England or Germany or Netherlands. Ah, okay. Italians and Polish as well, yeah. Ah, okay, so come on, shit, I was talking and talking. Now, I always missed the new position of these guys. Yeah, okay, that's the uncertainty. So it looks like they're moving with something between 9 knots and 7 knots.
Ich erwarte Ihre Befehle.
Yeah, but yeah, it looks alright. But the course is fine. Let's assume them to go with something like 8 knots. That's reasonable. And the course is alright. So now let's do some extrapolations. Us going for 1 more hour, 2 more hours. Them going 1 more hour, going 2 more hours. So if I go like that, I would be pretty alright
Kurs setzen.
intercepting them. And after 2 hours, I should be head to head with them. And after another hour, I should be able to intercept them. Yep, that looks good. 3 more hours. And it's only 11 o'clock in the morning. So this would well be a day attack.
Anblasen.
There we go, back to the surface. Discipline is still going down, but when we are back to the surface, I hope that discipline is going back up. But we have a fatigue level of -9 by now. So if we go like that, what would be the distance? 5 miles? Yeah, that should be alright. And I think by now I do have a pretty precise picture of their course. Let's give it a save. Better safe than sorry. Yeah, just in case that I completely fuck it up, I reload. So it's now exactly 11 o'clock. Now it's exactly 12 o'clock, but I think I'm not gonna do a hydrophone check at that point. I think the positioning is pretty reliable. Let's go on for 1 more hour and do the hydrophone check then. Time of the day, just 12 o'clock, 12:30. And here we are. Let's check if we already have any steam clouds. Oh yeah, there we already have the convoy inside. Wouldn't have expected to have it like that at the moment. And these guys are already masts up. Alright. Alright. Yeah, there may be a ship nearby. Yeah, maybe. Maybe 1 or 2. Or maybe a few more. Yeah, you're completely right. However, shall we let's just do one final hydrophone check to confirm their position.
Tauchen auf 50 Meter.
I think we can easily afford it because we are moving much faster than them.
Aktuelle Tiefe 5 Meter.
Auf E-Motoren wechseln.
Okay, there we are back to electric engines.
Meter.
And at that point, please excuse me for 1 minute. Hey, December 6th is coming up soon. So you are thinking about Santa Claus? In Germany, on December 6th, we celebrate Santa Claus, which is the date where, on the eve of the 6th, the children bring out their shoes and boots, and in the next morning they are supposed to be filled with Yeah, sweets. If this is what you mean, do we have that similar habit over there? Okay, so what was happening then in Halifax? Yeah, I know. Weight loss. St. Nicholas, yeah. But still, I would be interested in what you mean with Halifax burned. What was it back then? So was it some story from the Second World War? Okay. Okay, First World War, yeah.
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kaloy?
By the way, please allow me. To be AFK just for 1 minute. Don't go away. We are in the final approach, although I must be honest that probably tonight we are not gonna do the sinking, just doing the approaching, because yeah, within the next half an hour I think I'm definitely gonna have to quit, but not right now. Don't go away. Be back in a minute.
Aktuelle Tiefe 35 Meter.
All right, back again. You hear, yeah, you hear it. Just brought some remainings
40 Meter.
of a bag of crisps. Let's see what I'm gonna do with it. So, engine stopped. And right now we should get the final data point
50 Meter.
of the convoy's position. Yeah, hear that. Sorry guys, just need a little bit of a late night snack.
Meter.
Hey, but where is the signal? Should have heard it by now.
Aktuelle Tiefe 50 Meter.
1917, yeah, okay. Hey, so why don't we get a contact? We should get some contact just over there. The whole convoy can't just have gotten away. That's a bit weird that we didn't yet get that contact yet.
Wie lauten Ihre Befehle, Herr Kaloy?
Hey, come on, that convoy, it must still be there. So I was following from here to there, and even if it would have changed the course dramatically, it should still be in the range of my detection of the hydrophone. Yeah, exactly. That's why they turned off their engines and were all alerted. Yeah. So I should have ordered silent running. Silent running means no crunching of crisps anymore and no rustling of crisp bags anymore. Yeah, but hey, where are the guys? They can't just have vanished.
Anblasen.
Hey, we go back to the surface and we just didn't get them. Hey, that can't be. That just can't be. They must be here. Can't be that they're gone.
Auf diese Motoren wechseln.
Herr Kaloy, wir sind aufgetaucht.
Yeah, I'm still far away. I'm still sufficiently far away. Hey, so there they are in visible range. I see the smoke columns. Pretty sure that they can't see us, but why wouldn't I get any hydrophone check? That was weird. Okay, well, I think this is a good position to save. And I'm sorry to say that I've got to go to bed now. It's just about turning 3 o'clock around here. If I get up tomorrow at 9 o'clock, it's perfectly fine. I get 6 hours of sleep, that's alright. But, yeah, reasonable to stop now. Yeah, I don't know. Any effects prevented me from hearing them. That was a bit weird. Usually it is relatively reliable. So, guns shooting, weight loss. Have a good night. It was a pleasure to have you in the stream. Thanks a lot for that nice little chat that we had. And I don't know who else is still in. So, Paul, if you're still there, it was a pleasure to have you. Have a good night. Let me see, who else did we have tonight? So Aqua Icing, if you're still in. Also for you, yeah, for you it's also, yeah, you are also pretty late. I think you have the same time as we have, right? Something like 3 o'clock. So if you're still there, it was a pleasure, and see you then. Have a good night. And all you other guys, MRC, you're kind of, yeah, not the chatty guy actually, but you're in the stream again and again, and I pretty much appreciate that. So also a pleasure to have you. Have a good night just as well. So guys, see you. And I think I'm gonna do another stream tomorrow, late night, just like tonight. Bye bye. Have a good one.